the front of the Denny's, there's a little red like velvet door on the back. And in this Denny's, in the back area, was a Denny's lounge. And it was a full bar with full breakfast. And it was like the most, we're kind of hungover. We're all real tired. We're like just disappointed that we had to leave because it was a really fun wedding. We played a big show. But man, you get one Bloody Mary in you and a Grand Slamwich, and you are just feeling back. Ready to do it all again.
Man, that was an always be recording moment. Thanks for starting it up, Colin.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
As you were winding that story up, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Happy memories. You guys want to share your favorite Denny's memories? No?
Do you recall when Denny's was in Bend? Is that before you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I do, yeah.
A few good times there. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
I mean, nothing crazy that I can remember, I guess, now that I say that out loud. I definitely have been there in some times where I don't remember anything crazy happening, but I don't know if it was boring.
We're down to like one Greasy Spoon breakfast place in town. Because we used to have like Sergeant's, we used to have like Sherry's is gone, the Denny's is gone.
Sherry's is bad Greasy Spoon.
Right, but it existed. If you were in the morning and you're like, I'm just going to have a pancake, it wasn't not real.
Sherry's was just fine.
Was it though?
I think it was
just fine for what it was.
It
wasn't trying to be anything special.
No, not at all. No frills.
Yeah.
Proudly no frills.
Their stuff
73.
It was a place that my grandmothers always were like, you guys want to meet at a Sherry's? And I'd always be like, sure. Because worst case scenario, you have some bacon and a pie.
Yeah.
Like,
just
not
eat
mad.
an entire pie.
Yeah.
I just grab one and go to the booth.
Walk up to the counter. Give me the cherry.
And it's an octagon, so they're all corner booths. There's no
pull the center thing out, and boom, there you go.
Town.
Yeah, slice by slice.
Start in the middle.
What are I can think of one really good Greasy Spoon. I can think of a couple satellite subpar ones. What's your one?
Oh, I was talking about the D.
Yeah, okay. But then there's
what are your satellites?
Corey's has breakfast.
They fly in the sky.
Corey's is good.
You've got the shirt on. You got the jacket on right there.
I've got a NASA jacket on. What do you?
Oh, geez.
What do you mean you don't know what a satellite is?
I know what a satellite is, but what satellite restaurants is he talking about? I've never had breakfast at Corey's.
That's where I always went.
Yeah, and then Jake still exists. It's not like it once was, but it is Greasy Spoonish.
The problem to me is that it was so good for so long, and then it is not good, but it's still huge. They're like, we're not going to make good food anymore, but your plate just doubled in size, and so we're going to fill it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be happy about the quality, but the quantity.
It's not good food, but it's food.
So much.
Isn't food great?
And it doesn't hold over. That was the other thing that made me annoyed, because we went to Jake's with I don't know, my pops. And the next day I was like, I'm going to go have some of these hash browns. I'll heat them back up and do this. And none of the food heated back up well. And if you go to
Sherry.
Not Sherry's. The pie stays fine because it's in the refrigerator. But I couldn't get any of it to taste okay again. Then I guess if it didn't taste okay at the beginning, it won't taste okay at the end. But
that's solid logic train.
Yeah. But here we are.
Fair assumptions.
Nothing magically gets better out of the microwave, really.
There's got to be something. What gets better reheated?
Well, stew, anything like that.
I was going to say anything with the soaked meat.
Soups aside.
It's not a meal.
That's the only thing the microwave's good for is like heating up soup.
I have found air fryer
it's terrible at
reheats
heating up
good.
soup. Wait, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Do you enjoy things that are really cold in certain places and super hot in others?
You have to stir it, my guy.
Yeah.
No,
Stop in
no,
the
that's
middle,
too
stir
much.
it, go again.
No. At that point, you might as well have put it on the stovetop.
Or what you do is you heat it in a bowl, and then or the plastic container, and then you pour it into a bowl, so you don't have a scorching hot
You have
bowl.
to mix.
Yeah.
But that's also
That-
how you get microplastics in your balls.
Yeah. It's just,
That's
I
fine.
watch that container shrink and I go, oh, it's not good. I do it.
You're buying
But
cheap
It's not
containers.
good. I am. You're
Yeah.
right, because I lose them all the time. Maybe if they were expensive, I wouldn't lose them.
We've got glass, which is great, except it gets so hot.
Yeah.
Burns you right through. I have found, though, air fryer food, second time, is not worse.
Air fryer's great.
It's either as good or better. I went to Arby's the other day because my parents were like talking to me and I was at work and I was driving by and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll stop at Arby's. I hadn't had Arby's in probably 5 years. I didn't know.
There's some reason why.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
But
they-
it's disgusting.
And they've like remodeled it. It's like super actually like clean and nice looking inside compared to what I remember an Arby's being, which is like this dark brown that matched the color of their sauce. So now it's like red and white and black checkered, and like it was like, oh wow, this is kind of nice in here. And I walked up, ordered, sandwich was garbage, but
Curly
it was
fries.
not the worst. But the curly fries were great.
Always.
They're everything I
don't know,
remember.
Are they? God,
Yeah, the curly
I'm
fries
not-
are amazing. They will always
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
They're good.
I feel like there's
I'm with Mike.
I don't like both versions of. There's the like
The steak.
there's like the long like so as far as the curly fry goes,
Okay.
there's the tight wound ones
Yep.
Yeah.
that are like kind of soft.
And
Those
springy.
ones are good.
Yep.
But the like loose ones that are like a long curve
There's less
that
of
are
those now.
that are like crispy. It's
There's less of
terrible.
those now. It's a lot more rotational.
That and I just don't know if it's that good
I like
of
the
a
mix.
curly
Yeah.
fry like spice or whatever that's on it. It's I'm not a fan of it.
I had not thought about it in years, and I had the curly fries, and I thought, I think I'll come back. And I didn't have to because we found out at Costco you can buy a giant bag of Arby's curly fries, and then you throw them in the air fryer, and it tastes exactly the same. They're just frozen Arby's brand curly fries. And it was great. So now we have curly fries on occasion at the house without having to go into an Arby's, which is honestly the dream. That's the American dream.
It's to not
Yeah.
go to Arby's.
Yeah,
You can just
it's having the
skip-
fries without.
Yeah.
It's the juice without the squeeze. Okay.
You really made it.
I know. Look at us in this consumer economy.
Hey, on that note,
Speaking
Yeah.
speaking of consumers,
Welcome.
hold on.
Welcome to the Campfire Passport podcast.
Wow.
Well, I wasn't going to do that. But
Guys
good
doing
on
it at
ya.
the same time. Okay.
man,
That's a first.
jeez.
I had to slow down and think about it so I didn't fuck it up for the first time.
Well,
Good job,
I was
Steve.
gonna
Yeah,
update
fuck
the
bro.
podcast on what my mom bought for her driving apparatus. I know we talked about Kias and Tahoes and other things, and she ended up getting a Ford F-150.
Oh my God,
As we all kind of expected.
Jesus. Yeah, I love it. We should go back a couple podcasts where you talk about your dad getting rid of his F-150 because of I don't know what reasons, but
Oh,
I'd like
they
to
had
hear
all
the
the
counter
reasons,
yeah,
arguments for
there's a
getting
bunch
it.
of reasons.
Well, front end damage. So there was a spun bearing in the ring or the housing for the front axle, but which showed up
Cool.
as aluminum in the gear oil. So they were just like, we're getting rid of it. But also they had all these other reasons. They're like, yeah, we don't need it for this. We don't need it for that. And then they're like, by the way, look at our new truck. And I was like, oh, come on. But it's a 2.7, not the 3.5. So it has
Oh.
less horsepower. It's almost the same mileage. Is marginally more reliable. from what people say, but I
Yeah.
think it's just not been around long enough to have failed as often. And I was like, oh, okay. And that
Cool.
was all I had to say about it. It's a nice looking truck. It's like a upscale model and yada yada, but I don't know. Didn't
So it got luxury that your
it's
mom
got
wanted.
luxury. It's got the heated seats and the cooled seats and the giant screen and all that jazz. But it's more white than my truck, which is nice.
That's-
Because my truck is technically white. Technically.
it's blue.
But yeah,
What are you
so
talking
they're
about?
happy about it. It's like a gray, but if you get it in the right light, it's white. You got your buttons back now, huh?
Well, no. The thing is the buttons on this, or as far as on this goes, nobody can hear it.
Hmm.
Just you and me.
Oh, that's great.
Like
You
it
guys
doesn't
are gonna
even
get
it doesn't even
womp-womped
record.
so many times you don't even know.
But it's okay. I'm not actually using that for that right now. I'm
Oh.
trying to set something up here. I did a last second here.
Oh.
So, but continue with your program.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Back to regularly scheduled programming. What segue did I steal from you there, Sean?
Nothing. I was gonna say my coworker got a really, really nice shape Gen 1 Raptor.
Oh, wow.
That is like bone stock, one owner,
5.4
relatively low
V8?
mileage. No, it is a 6.2 crew cab truck. So
God,
it's very nice.
that's
But
awesome.
heated and cooled seats, like all the fancy 2012 stuff or 2011, whatever year it was. But we've had it down here, and I'm impressed. It's a nice truck. I mean, I've been around them before, and they're all pretty nice. But this one is like the nicest condition one I've seen since Cameron bought his when it was just a few years old. So
Yeah. I've always been a fan. I like those trucks. I like what they
Yeah,
stand
yeah.
for, what they do, why, like the fact that they kind of started the truck war back up and the I don't know, that you can get 37s on them without really any drivetrain issues, and they do Raptor stuff, which is pretty cool.
we took 2 attempts to get into a Starbucks drive-through this morning. So
Nice.
that's pretty cool.
Figuring it out.
Too wide, too long.
Well,
All right.
No, honestly, not willing to drive over shrubberies is probably the
Yeah.
real answer.
I think it was the width really that got us because it wouldn't. There was another truck and it like wouldn't turn sharp enough to not hit the truck or the wall. You had to either hit one or double turn,
Mm.
multi-point turn.
Multi-point.
That's it.
There you go. Yeah. We can just do a whole pod of wrong term for
Yeah.
certain things and see if people pick up
We
on
call-
what we're talking about.
Are we calling satellite a wrong term?
Well, if it's a
I
satellite
might-
restaurant, it does imply that it has something to do with the other restaurant.
Yeah, I'll give you
I
that.
don't know. I could argue.
But
Because that's what I initially
Colin
thought.
knew
Is
what I was saying.
when you were like, oh yeah, the satellite. I was like, the satellite for the D. Do they have like a D food truck? Do they like in the back you could order tamales? What's happening? I bet you
Good
could.
idea.
I bet if you waited around the D long enough, there'd be somebody there that would sell you tamales.
Well, depending on the time of year.
That's fair.
What did do you guys come up with a main topic or anything, or are we just winging it?
Well,
I have no
with,
idea. I've just
With
been
that,
talking.
I did come up with something last second,
All right.
and I think it's going to be good because no one's had any idea or any time to think about it. Everybody we're going to do a snake draft. One car
Okay, do it.
from every era.
Oh.
So 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. So no pre-thought to this. We're just going to fucking go. You're going to pick one car from each era in snake draft order for whatever you're, say it's your favorite or you want to build a garage that has these things in it. Like, I don't care.
Okay.
Just Mike has first pick for the 1950s.
Ooh, 1950s. For the 1950s, I want like a 50 flat fender, a 1950 flat fender, like one of the last, because they were
A
making
Willys?
Yeah, they're making like Willys war Jeeps up until like 53 or something. And I think that because other than that, things from the 50s are going to be not particularly in my wheelhouse, but I think that'd be super rad. I've had this back of my head dream about making a like on JK or JL Rubicon axle flat fender that looks like war Jeep, like full flat, all the beautiful, insignias and all the parts and pieces to be correct for a war Jeep, but also having like 37s and a fairly reliable powertrain, some sort of 4-cylinder out of a newer vehicle, and just really able to go anywhere kind of flat fender. So that's my 50s pick.
Okay. Steve is next.
For 50s pick,
50s pick.
like a 50s panel side truck.
Just any panel wagon?
Any?
Yeah, any panel wagon.
Boss. Oh,
All right, I'm going to
One
look
end.
for the worst panel wagon from 1950s.
Yes.
So like a Dodge or a
Like a
Chevy or it says Ford.
Yeah.
Okay. Ford. I'm putting Ford on there.
Let's see. Well, yeah, those are good looking trucks.
Because I'm pretty sure they're like 3 on the tree still.
Yeah, you could get 3 on the tree for
Yeah.
probably anything.
Probably, yeah. Okay. Mine is for 1950s shoebox Ford. So 49, 50, one of those two. So it'd be a 50 obviously because we're in the 50s. So
That's fair.
50 Ford, that's me. 2-door. Sean.
I'm trying to be strategic here because I'm trying to think ahead a little bit, even though I'm not supposed to be thinking ahead.
Shh, you stop that.
Some strategy.
I am gonna say mine is a 58 bug.
58 bucks. Okay.
Yeah, very very specific for the year. It's a great year. Colin knows this. If anybody else doesn't know this, 58s have a lot of unique 1-year parts because they're the first year of that body style, which goes from 58 to 67 ish. 66 mostly, but 67 is a carryover 1 year with some other weird stuff. And the 58 is the year. I would obviously modify that, I think, but that's not the point of this, so I'll get out of that probably. And I asked in the chat if it was truck, car, whatever, and obviously it is whatever. So
Anything goes.
get ready to see a bunch of German stuff.
Beep-beep-beep-boo.
Go
Yep.
ahead, Mike.
No, it's not. No, it's Snake Draft. Sean.
Oh, Snake Draft. Oh,
You
it's
get
me
first
again?
pick of the
Oh,
60s.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
60. Shit. 63 2-door Mercury Monterey Marauder, probably, with buckets in the console, and I would make it a lowrider. That part again, probably a non-issue, but here we are.
Yeah, well,
Man.
Okay, so
I like that idea.
you like
funny
that?
to point out, I've had some semblance or some sort of both of those cars. So here we are.
Right, yeah.
Which is funny.
Sean's just like, I like
Weird.
the cars that I
The
have.
cars he's already owned. So 1960s, I'm going 911.
What be specific? Yeah, specific. 67, 68. So
Yeah, like I guess technically, what would it be? A 912?
well, no, there's 912 and 911. It depends if you want a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder.
Right. Well, I want the 6-cylinder.
Want a 911?
Yeah. See?
Wait, what?
So, like I said, it's the first generation of 911s. That's like one of my all-time favorites because I don't know, because it's a 911 and it's still a Volkswagen too.
That's fair.
So, all the fun.
Yep.
So now it's Steve's turn for the 60s.
69 GTR
Okay.
Skyline.
I like that. That sounds
I
good.
think that's probably like the coolest importable sports car that I could look at that would suffice everything I would never need.
That is very cool. That's a deep cut.
Deep cut. Yeah, right
Yep.
right on the cusp of 70s.
Right? Yeah.
I like it.
Hey,
I
Just
like
getting it
That's
in.
Yeah.
That's a strong pick.
Still counts.
All right. Well, my 1960s it's similar to Sean's pick actually, but it's a 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. It was Ford's factory drag car. It is a 427 side oiler. It was like really, really cool, and they only made, hundreds of them or thousands of them, but not a lot of them. And you could buy it and you could take it and go race with it like same day. Had this cool early like bubble on the hood that was almost like traffic cone shaped, but cut off super low. And then it had this like just huge intake on it so they could pump all that good air into that good motor.
427 Cammer. Those are great cars. Fun weird fact, because I've worked around those things enough. They have Econoline van front seats.
Really? Probably because they were light.
Yep, that's why.
Yeah.
That hood is fiberglass. A bunch of stuff is fiberglass. They're super thin.
Nice.
Well,
If somebody isn't super familiar and understands modern muscle, it's like a Copo Camaro. That's like the exact
Same concept
thing. Yeah, stock series drag racing stuff.
So 70s.
yeah, Snake Draft, you're in.
I know.
70s.
76 Trans Am, Smoking the Bandit. Going back to old setups. It was the same in 77 and all that, but that Firebird, that Flamin' Chicken, that Trans Am with gold wheels, just like it's done up in the movie, like as close as I can option it to what they had in that film. Take the T-tops off and throw them away. Because I'm only driving that thing in the summer. I'm never putting them on. Anyway, that's the one.
That's it.
I'll take like a 72 or 70 510 Datsun.
Bangers only.
When they still had I think they had a 2-liter at that point.
Are you? But 2-door, 4-door wagon,
2-door.
Tudor.
Yeah.
Well, I would take 2-door or even a 4-door wagon, but the 2-door would be what I'm after. If I could, it would be like I think they're only in Japan, but it was like the Triple S Bluebird edition.
Bluebird. Yeah.
Bluebird. Yeah.
Because that was their coupe, and I think it had a different like back window. Yeah.
Like a fastback.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a 2-door wagon as well, didn't they?
No.
All the wagons were 4-door.
Yeah, just 4 doors. Just the furders.
Was it just a popular thing where people shave it and swap it?
I don't know if it's popular. I feel like I've seen that
because that's what I'm looking it up. I'm finding some, but I swear I have seen it done, and there's some on like Speed Hunters and some other stuff. So I guess it was not a factory thing that I am thinking of. Okay, because I was like, no, I swear I have seen that, and I'm just actively wrong and loud about it.
Well, I mean,
that's per usual.
You're kind of, I feel like you're loud about everything, honestly, but I mean,
if you have a brand,
who's to say?
Stick to the brand, right?
Okay, me, I am going for I think the move here is MX-63 Cressida.
Okay.
Because I like 77 is when they kind of changed to the like more square-ish body, but it had like the round headlights and like kind of like curvature body panels, and I think they're really cool for going like kind of Kaido style, just like really low, small wheels that are super wide.
Yeah.
And just kind of, and then, you can do the old oil cooler mounted to the front bumper and all that stuff. Just
all the cool.
Go super JDM style with it, I guess. Yeah.
JDM Plus Yo.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I think it's good. Every time anybody says something, I'm also like, oh, that's cool. And then I'm just like, I'm going to stay in my lane, which is old American stuff.
Well, you're gonna have to have not so old American stuff at some point here.
Yeah, we're coming out of
I
it.
know what one of
'Cause-
the 80s or the 90s. I know one of Mike's picks for sure.
Okay.
What?
Well, we're not there yet, Sean. You need to go 70s and then you got to go 80s.
Can I take Mike's pick?
No,
If
it's
on
been
the
picked.
board?
It's
No,
off the
Can I
board.
take a pick if I think Mike's gonna do it?
Well, yeah, you can.
I mean,
you
sure,
can do
you can
want.
snake it. What do you can
don't-
snake his
yeah.
pick if you want it, I guess. Yeah.
If you think
I
you
don't
got my
really.
pick, that's fine. Yeah.
Do you
Just
really
thinking-
want it though?
Is it something
No.
that's
That's the
on
thing.
your draft?
That's like drafting a quarterback in the second round. I don't know if I want it,
I'll do it in
Yeah,
the first
I
one.
exactly.
I'm like, hey, let's go.
but I want to take it away from Mike at least. All right. 70s, 74 911 Carrera RS 3.0.
Right.
And that will
Okay.
carry the entire collection in value, most likely. But also, it's awesome. The best of the early 911s. So that was the best. Yeah.
The very.
Can I just put, well, how
Just put RS.
these-
Just put RS.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, you rattled off, you've been rattling off way too much stuff.
Now, is there?
I'm having to
Sorry.
shorten it.
This is our forever garage, right? So we'll have to be able to at some point go overlanding with it and still in.
Why?
I don't know. Are we trying to do like a real life thing?
I'm
Are we
out.
trying
These
to
are just
spread these out or just
These
like
are hey, it's up to you.
okay?
My
Yeah.
life is now cars and coffee with this collection so far.
That's it.
I don't go camping anymore.
Yeah, but remember, you're going to live in Denver. So which one of these are you going to
So
drive
far,
around
anyway.
in the pothole city?
The bug.
The low
Those are
rider. 'cause
great in
it's
the
got
snow.
hydraulics with accumulators, and I can crank it up. Like, I don't
You go
care.
up higher than where the snow level is.
Yeah. 80s, 89. So this is what I'm going to drive around town probably. 89 Rally Golf.
Ah, okay. Yeah. All right.
Ultimate Mark II.
Ultimate Mark II.
It is the ultimate
Isn't
Mark
it? Isn't it golf rally though? Not rally golf.
It is actually Rally Golf.
Really.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
I
But
thought
that's
it was
what
the
it is.
other way.
Hmm.
Google me. Google me. That's fine. But
Google you. I don't know how they
Jamie, look
do they
that up.
spell it funny too.
it's RALLYE.
Yeah. See, relay. All right. Well, that
What
that is
you'll do
cool.
is Google golf rally, and you'll find rally golf in all the listings.
And a whole bunch of dumbass. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I think this is 80s might be. I thought 70s was going to be harder for me than I think it was.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I've made it harder for myself in the 80s though.
Yeah, I'm surprised. The 73 Cresta, I think, is my choice for you for that year because you have a 63, and I would have traded that out for something something else in the 70s. But that's just
Yeah, well, no, because the 73. I don't know. I think the like I said, the body lines of the MX63 is cooler.
they're unique. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. 80s. I want to say something, but I'm not sure if that's where I want to go. Oh God, that's tough. There's too many. I think 80s is going to be harder for me all of a sudden. Fuck, this sucks. Maybe I should have gone later. Let's go 80s. Let's go FC. Turbo 2 FC. I think that'll fit the bill well. Fit the bill well because that'll be my that's my drift missile right there.
Gonna have some fun. I don't think I made it up to 10,000 RPM at that point. I think I stalled out early.
Yeah. Okay, Steve, what's your 1980s?
Like a Chevy K10 extended cab.
K10.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was like a 5.7. Still had in that.
Could be right. I'm not a K10 person. I'm not a square Chevy fan.
Yeah, there were 350s in I think every
Mm-hmm.
square body that's ever existed has eventually had an option.
Yeah. It's all.
Yeah, and if it came with a
always
big
been
block, they put a 350 in it just for a second, just so that you could say it, and then they took it out and put the big block in.
Yes.
I don't think it was available without.
But it's basically the 1-ton version, because I think they still called some half tons K10s. Or still.
So all K10s are half ton, K20 is 3/4, K30 is.
Oh,
1 ton.
gotcha.
So
Okay,
that
right.
works.
Yep.
Okay, so are you changing your answer now?
I mean, sure, K30.
30. Okay.
I mean, it's really common for people like C10s, especially. People say C10.
Yeah.
For every truck that is that like that.
It would have been the 1-ton. Yes.
Well, a K30 you might have got with a 454, some sort of big block at that point.
Stupid big block, yeah.
Yeah, big and loud and going. 1989 Mustang 50 Saline.
So I was going to take from Mike just for fun.
I almost waited till the 90s so I could do the 7-Up, but I can't keep a white soft top clean. I know I wouldn't be able to do that, so it's not worth it.
I love how practical you are in your dreams, because I'm like, yeah, give me that Mercury in triple white, no problem.
No problem.
See, I just know
I would never in real life, but in a dream, yes.
I
got
already
slippers for the car in my dream.
I'm gonna have a convertible already in the 90s, because obviously I'm gonna get a 1997 Mazda Miata M edition.
Oh,
because now that I have another Miata in my life, I don't want to not have one, at least even in my dreams.
I like it. Okay.
I love it. I gotta fix it. It apparently runs like hot dog shit.
Still fixing needed, but
Yeah.
okay.
I had to replace. Oh man, just for a moment, if we're gonna pause this for just a second here,
Go.
I lost the fuel pump relay, so I'm dealing with all this other shit, trying to get the Jeep in the garage because I broke an axle on it, and trying to do this and that, and I couldn't get it to start, and it wouldn't do anything, and the fuel pump wouldn't click. Something that has never been a problem before, and all of the other stuff I'm dealing with, and the fuel pump relay is gone. And guess what? A 1990 Mazda Miata fuel pump relay doesn't exist anymore. You have to order it from salvage yards. You have to buy it from other people who have wrecked their Miatas into things and didn't ruin that relay.
All right.
So I took it apart and I jumped it. So now it's constant. There is no relay. If the key is on, the fuel pump is on. And if it doesn't start, you better turn the key off, or otherwise you're going to burn up your fuel pump while I'm waiting for another one to show up. Man, I was like, of course, something else will go wrong. I can't buy injectors because I have to wait until the fuel pump relay shows up so I can fix one thing at a time. Anyway, Miatas, I love them.
Anyway.
I love them so much. I love them so much. I'm actually going to fix this one right.
Right.
Which is weird.
There was no quotes. He didn't do air quotes on that one.
By
Watch out.
the fuel pump relay.
No, that's a temporary thing to get it out of the garage. I ordered the part.
I know.
The correct part is coming. God.
All right, what's Steve got for the 90s?
Like a G320 SWB. So the short wheelbase G-Wagon, 2-door.
That's cool.
Okay.
I wouldn't have.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So there you go, Mike. That answers your question. There's his Overlander.
Yeah.
Right there.
Apparently I'm going to be in a Miata, and I am screwed.
You still got time. Let's see. 90s. I think I've got to go with, I think Sean's going to know where I'm going here, with the Audi RS2 Avant.
Okay, yeah. Definitely.
That is my 90s plug. I will never stray away.
See, fair.
That is my one 90s vehicle that I will always come to.
Yeah.
So, Sean.
Let's see here. So, in the 90s, I'm going to do a 94 Skyline GTR. Last year, the R32. Best Skyline.
Maybe.
And then for the 2000s, I'm gonna round out the collection a little bit with
Was
the
the heater on the whole time?
2007. Uh, 2007 911 GT3 RS in signal green. So not that you have to write that, but that's the color. And that's not Collins, it's Sean's.
Oh, yep, you're right.
Don't give that to yourself. That's me.
I didn't want it there anyway. So, so yeah, okay, all right. I've 2 911s in the garage there, huh, Sean?
I thought about 3, but that's one little Hail Mary to.
I'll be honest. I
not-
did have the thought initially, like I was like, could I just
I thought
say
about doing all.
50 Ford and then just go 911, 911, 911, 911. I definitely had those thoughts. Like maybe I
pick one
should.
from every decade here. And if we go into 2020s, yeah, I can still do it.
Still do it.
Still go.
You've got the options list figured out. Yeah.
Yeah, my what's the outside looking in?
Yeah.
It's a 911.
We're gonna have that conversation. Yes.
Okay. 2000s. I am going with a Land Rover Defender one double cab.
Okay.
That's a good move.
So there's my Overlander.
Now you're ready to go camping. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the ultimate rig for me.
That's fair.
Okay, Steve.
I'll take like pretty sure like E39s at the time, but the wagon M5.
Yeah. It'll be importable by the time this dream is alive.
Yeah, you think so?
I guess it is. Oh. Yeah.
I mean,
2000.
If
If there was literally a 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the year range is on the launch. So, but anyways.
2000s.
What Mustang are you buying in the 2000s, Mike?
2006 Ford GT.
Okay.
This one is my investment.
Investment.
Yeah.
That's power.
Sean's got 2 investments in the 911s.
I know, but
one of them is my retirement. The other one is the investment.
One in 06 Ford GT. I mean, it came out. Everybody got hyped about it. They didn't sell a whole lot of them. They're really cool. First year back kind of thing, and they're worth a ton, and they're unobtainable unless you are like willing to murder somebody and sleep with their wife, or make it in a dream. So it's in a dream for me.
Okay.
My 2010s, since it's me again.
Yep.
2019 Ford Raptor.
All right.
And that's going to be my Overlander.
There's your Overlander.
That's my daily driver. That's my runabout. It's going to have either GFC or something similar, depending on how much money I have left over in my dream. It's going to be
a wet dream?
It's going to be on 40s because it must. And then I'll have to do whatever the things that I have to do to make that work. Cut it, whatever I have to out of it. And it's a dream. So I don't care about that. Just enjoy it, It'll be my daily and camp rig, and I could jump it, and I would jump it.
Well, yeah,
at least once,
a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve.
I'll take like a GT3 RS. Just eat myself into oblivion. as Mike said, an investment car.
Yeah. I mean, we all want to have a nice retirement. Yeah.
Sure.
And it's the only thing modern that I could really think of that I would actually want outside.
Yeah, that's where I'm struggling. I've been
trying to
think of something from the 2010s era that I
remember. That goes up to 2019 though, because that was what kept getting me stuck. I was like 2010 was weird. There was, and I was like.
Yeah, but there still just wasn't. There's not a lot there that I'm like.
The Raptor, I was like,
have been the biggest fan of. I almost said Camry just because, like, I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, you gotta love
Just
a
got
Camry.
the daily and just call it good.
A Nissan Altima, so then you can go do some demolition derby stuff.
2010s. Ooh, you know what?
I don't.
I'm curious what year that was. Oh, that might not work. What year for those? No, because that was like, that just this year? When did the RS6 wagon finally come back?
Oh, I think they're
Oh, that's like
21
or 22.
Yeah, damn
Yeah.
it. I mean, granted,
there was
You
one
could-
in.
I mean,
you can import it.
yeah, this is a dream
a
scenario. Get an
dream.
RS4.
Yeah, you
Like-
might not be able to drive it legally in town, but shoot, in your dream, you also have a racetrack near your house. And
Or
a
you
grocery
just
store.
in your dream, you got some pull in the government, and you can
Yeah.
just show and display it. Like, who cares?
yeah, there is
I
that.
mean, listen, I'm in Florida right now. You could drive that car in Florida. They would register it. We're not
Yeah, I
supposed
bet
to,
they would.
but they would.
Also, it's not a
Uh,
weird enough. It's not like it's some sort of well-known. Everybody knows. A lot of people know, but not enough people would be like, "Wait a minute, you couldn't get that in a wagon here in 1990." You know what I mean?
Yeah, what was it?
or-
So
Your dream
you
could
get
be
too
to
much
get
flack.
two of them, crash one, and federalize them. So then now you own the
Hey.
business too.
It's your dream, yeah.
oh man, it does actually make the window. I could get a 19. That is the first year of the newest ones.
Well,
Oh,
there you
really?
go.
Yeah.
All right.
So
That's
yeah,
a good one.
there we go. 19 RS6 Avant,
I'm
two
into
Audi
that.
wagons.
That'll be-
Which I'm glad, if anybody was gonna do it.
That's my daily right there.
Man,
That's
are
your
those-
911. Sean's doing 911s as his 911s, but you've got
Yeah, Audi wagons.
wagons.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, last pick for the 2010s.
Are we sure that the 19 is a U.S. car? Not that it matters again because of the dream, but now I'm curious.
Well, honestly, even if it's just a 19 is the first year of that body, you can swap all your whatever you want.
Type 5G 2019 to present C8.
I think
Yeah.
that might be rest of the world, but
You can.
but I think it's awesome. I don't have any qualm with it.
In our dreams,
mine
we
is
can
not.
do anything.
Mine is not legal, so I don't care.
Oh.
It's fine.
It's a moto
2019.
combo. Oh.
It's a 2019 Troopy. So
Oh, okay. So there you go. There's his. Well,
legalization.
he could overland in the Rally Golf
Yeah.
or the Troopy.
Yep.
So
There you go.
And then since I get the next pick, my 2020s outside looking in is 24 911 ST.
Okay.
okay.
The one.
2020.
And so is mine.
I didn't do 2020s because there's not enough. There's so
I mean, there's 5 years
so little
now.
time in there to
Yeah,
figure
think
we're
one
I
out.
got
halfway
one for
through,
that.
Colin.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna do 2020s though, then I'm gonna change my Raptor.
Nope,
No,
can't.
no,
You already
no.
picked it.
Whoa.
Can't go back. Can't retroactive
The
that.
spreadsheet is done.
Because they make
Yeah,
the
see?
Raptor R now,
Well,
and
Yeah,
that's
well.
a V8 again, and I could get rid of that 3.5 EcoBoost that I don't like.
Yeah,
why
well,
not
we're
have
not.
two Raptors?
Everybody
You
else
also
has got two of something. Well, I guess
don't-
Steve doesn't,
No
but
one's stopping you from dreaming here.
That's right. little
Then
bit we are.
23 392 Wrangler.
Okay.
Hmm.
I like that pick.
I'll take a brand new GR Yaris,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good.
Okay.
and that would be my
speaking of-
daily because that would actually be a very fun daily.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I would be on the Corolla GR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little more, more
Colin likes
space.
a little more room.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
the
He's
I
got
could-
the
GR
kids. You gotta
Yaris
get
is
the
just
kids
so
in there.
cute.
Well,
It's
I can
it's
swap
rad.
between the RS6 and that. The RS6 is when we got the whole fam.
Right.
And then when it's just me, I can take the Corolla.
Right.
Yeah. See?
Those are basically the same car. Just one is like they're the
One is
same
long.
premise. One is bigger and more powerful and doesn't have a manual. That's the difference. And nicer, way nicer. But
It's
Yeah.
luxury.
I would have that 392 on 40s. The Willys can be my wheeler. The 392 can be my other Wheeler, and the Raptor's still my Overlander.
Great.
But you were really
I
concerned
also-
about the Overlanders, and then you just
Well,
you
yeah.
piled it in with.
It's mostly muscle,
3
one
off-roaders.
Miata, and then some Overlander. Yeah.
I feel like the 2010s pick was everybody just kind of throwing something in at the end, right? Like
2010s was
Yeah.
is harder. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Mine
I
was-
almost chose the last year they did the actually good STI wagon,
Okay.
too controversial. Put it
Yeah.
super
Was that in like BC or?
It was like 2013, I think.
Yeah.
As a guy who has had a WRX, I have been repenting for it for quite some time, and then I bought another one, and I also regret that. So
I mean, they may have made him to 2014, but I think 2013 was the last year of the wagon STI.
I wouldn't know. I don't follow Subarus, so.
Yeah, we know.
well,
Yeah, don't say.
and even if you did,
Well,
you
maybe our
wouldn't-
listeners don't know because they're new. Steve, I gotta let them know every time.
Even if you-
Otherwise,
even if you did follow a Subaru, you might not know it because a cloud of smoke from blown head gaskets.
Always.
well, that or the
block your
vaping.
vision.
Yeah.
Either way, there's
Either
a cloud
way,
of
I can't
smoke.
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Uh,
this will be the moment where I tell my listeners, our listeners, now you can vote in the comments.
who's got the best?
Got the best draft here?
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
just remember,
man.
this was on the fly. None of us thought
Nobody knew
ahead
this
on
was
this.
coming, yeah.
It was just we just went for it, jumped in, and here's what we came up with off the top of our heads.
Yeah. Now that
Yeah,
I'm thinking
none
about
of
it,
us
I feel like
none of
you're,
us
you're
have
just
been
kinda-
dreaming about these cars forever in
No.
specific colors and years and trims and
Right. I mean, I can't.
anything
You
like
know,
that.
it's not that we haven't done that. It's that you get put on the spot and you have to pick a car from X year range.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little harder to narrow down. I thought I would have a Volkswagen in there, but I guess
Missed
I didn't.
them.
I just had
No,
two
you just,
Audis.
yeah, I was gonna say, if anyone likes Audi wagons, you already got a headlock on that whole market.
Yeah, that's my market.
Yeah, Fran Scotto's listening.
Yeah.
That's it.
He'd love it. He's gonna vote for
Probably-
Colin for sure.
One of 20 people in the world that would love that list that much.
That's all we got. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Why don't I'll go over it.
Email this
Just-
to all of us if you.
Oh
don't
yeah.
mind.
Well, I'll
I
go
wanna-
over it for the listeners. So we've got Mike, Willie's fat fender, Willie's flat fender, a '64 Thunderbolt, '76 Trans Am, '89 Mustang Celine, '97 Miata, 06 Ford GT, and then a '19 Raptor. Steve has a Ford panel wagon, '60s Ford panel wagon, '69 Skyrhine, 72 510 two-door, a 80s K30 extra cab, a 90s G320 short wheelbase G-Wagon, somewhere in the 2000s M5 BMW wagon. If you don't, here, I'll put BMW in here since
Yeah.
I would hope that people would know when I say M5
Nobody knows.
that's a BMW.
How
but
are they gonna know?
never know.
They're gonna know.
2010s 911 GT3 RS. And then I have a 50 Ford two-door, the Shoeboxer, a 60s 911, a 70s MX63 Cressida, a 80s FC Drift Missile, a 90s RS2 Avant, 2000s Defender double cab truck, and then 2010s a 19 RS6 Avant. And then we've got Sean, last but not least, 50s 58, so 58 Bug, a 63 Monterey Lowrider, a 74 911 RS, an 89 Raleigh Golf, a 94 GTR, a 07 GT3 RS 911, and a 19 Troopy. So feel free
Solid
to
list
comment
all
on whose is the best. Vote for who's the best in the comments. Let us know what you think. And
Okay.
after that, what do you got for us, Sean?
Oh, I was gonna before we switch gears, but I do have a topic or at least a subject
Ooh.
to roll into here. But the 50s were
Subtopic.
difficult for me.
Yeah.
I was immediately like, oh man, I would like some sort of classic American car, but I don't want to waste my classic American car in the 50s because I think the 60s
Because
are
you
the
think the
best
60s is
years.
The
better.
60s were the
Yeah.
best. Yeah.
So I was like, I can't put 54 Bel Air, so I gotta go with something else. And then I was like, I don't really like 50s trucks that much at all, other than like slam trucks maybe. But then it's back to the car thing, and I can, so I was doing the same thing as Mike, where I'm trying to like categorize this a bit and like get the things that I knew that I wanted to use, like some performance, some style, some usability,
Mhm.
those things. So that was cool. I liked that.
Yeah, the 50s was a little harder. I was able to shoehorn the shoebox in there because obviously a
Yeah.
49 is what I want,
Yeah.
but a 50
50 will
is
do.
basically the same. It's the 51 that's different. So it's like, okay, I can just sneak in with the 50.
I almost went 59 F100 so that I could slam it and get it on the ground and have a runabout. But I've really had dreams or ideas of a flat fender. And if I didn't do the flat fender, then I was going to be in the 90s. I was going to want to have a YJ of some variant that I could do up in the same kind of way, but I didn't want to lose the Miata of the generation that I wanted. And so
Can't lose the Miata.
I'm like, oh, okay, how do I get here and there and back? And I don't know. So,
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I was thinking ahead, at least for that one.
yeah,
And
that's
then I
good.
got fucking lost.
So, since it's the mid-sized truck podcast, I have mid-sized truck news.
Ooh,
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm going to share my screen.
Do it.
We've been talking about the new Ranger. We've been talking about the new Tacoma,
Mhm.
and New Colorado even has made it in on a bunch of content that we've talked about. And guess what? Now we get to talk about the
Ram,
long-awaited
a Dodge
mid-sized truck
Dakota.
Really?
from Ram, because they just confirmed it like 3 hours ago.
Wow.
Breaking news. They basically
A week ago.
Is it a week ago?
Well, for the listeners.
No. Breaking news a week ago. Yes, on the air. Anyways, it's not really full of details. Basically, they confirmed they're going to build a mid-sized truck. They just updated the fact that they're not going to do the long-range REV Ram, the electric one. They're relaunching their like 4-cylinder engine program that they previously kind of like shut down.
Mhm.
And it looks like we're gonna get an ugly little Ram.
Oh,
That
like a
looks weird.
Oh, why isn't the truck bed separated like it's supposed to be?
This
this
is
one of those?
This is a concept that was done for like rest of world market, I think, a few maybe years ago or like a year or two ago, before they said they weren't gonna do it, and then
Okay.
they decided they're going to do it again. So who knows what that actually looks like? If you look at the camouflage, like it's similar. These headlights are similar. This grill is similar, so maybe. I think though that Stellantis has been, as much as I think their cars are not my favorite kind of car, they're smart with trucks. The Ram is pretty fine and pretty like thought out when it comes to where it fits in the market. Jeep is for sure, obviously. So they know what they're doing. So I'm hoping this comes out as a real competitor. I don't want one, sure, because there's very few Dodges that I actually want a Rams, but I'm hoping it comes out as like a real competitor to the Colorado and the Ranger, and the Tacoma, of course. But what would be interesting, I'm sure everybody's thinking this, is if they do a RHO like TRX type version of this.
Yeah.
That's
So
the interesting
you said that
thing.
my first thought was Prospector.
Yeah.
An AEV.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like I'm sure there'll be an AEV package for it of some kind
maybe.
because they
If
already do.
If it doesn't suck, that's going to be the catch. Like,
yeah,
because
right.
there's no AEV. Think about this. There's no AEV 1500 Ram. There's only HD Rams.
Right. It's
and that's
just the full
because
sizes.
no one buys the 1500s.
Yeah.
So, but there are 1500 AEV Silverados because people buy those trucks, and there's a ZR2 version of it. So it's like, and people buy people buy Rams, but enthusiasts don't buy Rams as much. 1500s at least.
Right. Yeah.
So,
not the 15s.
Yeah. So that's kind of like that spot where who knows, but
because
I thought it was relevant news.
2500s and up are all solid front axle, right? That's probably why
Yeah.
they're still popular in the
Well, and
enthusiastic
Cummins.
enthusiasts.
And I mean, they have a Cummins or a 6.4 Hemi. Like those are both engines that people care about.
Mhm.
But I mean, people even like the 5.7 Hemi. I think that's a reason people buy 1,500 Rams. But I don't think
Yeah.
they get off-roaded very much. It just doesn't. It's not like kind of the brand identity, I guess, would be the thing to say there. I don't know.
Just a go-to truck. Does
For
truck.
truck stuff.
It is
Yeah.
truck.
It is truck.
Ram. Truck.
Truck.
Does
Yeah.
truck.
Anybody watched that show Landman?
Landman?
It's on
Land van?
Man, land.
Van land.
It's just Landman. It's Billy Bob Thornton in a TV show for Peacock, I think. It's streaming, but I think it's also on like NBC normal on, Wednesdays or who knows what. But it's all about oil fields down in Texas, and he's got a 4-door long bed 2024 F250 with a leveling kit and a bull bumper toolbox, and it's in this like just off sand. Like it looks like it's dirty, but when they wash it and clean it up, it's still the same color. It's like the perfect color of the dirt out there, so it doesn't look dirty all the time. And every time it pulls onto the screen, Haley's like, I just watch you and you smile. And I'm like, I know, it's the coolest looking truck. I don't know why on TV, the way they've got it in the rolling shots and the size of the tire and wheel package and the fact that it's like a bare bones truck, I'm just into it. I am
Is this
way
Is
too
this
into it.
Yellowstone in Texas or something?
Probably, yeah.
What it looks like.
A little slightly different. Oil instead
like-
of cows, I guess.
M-Tex oil.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that truck in its rolling shots, I'm really into it.
Yeah, it's kind of beige.
Yeah, the color of it just makes me happy.
I mean, everybody. I don't want to yuck your yum.
That's fine.
That's
But
what
You
we're,
don't have to like
that's
what
Sean.
I like.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, you
Come
don't
on.
like what I like.
Get it together.
I mean, I like new Super Duties. I think they're cool, but like, I have no interest. Here, let me back up. I'm going to eat my words for a second.
Uh-oh.
I understand the dream of like, I saw this thing and it's really cool. But practically, when I think of it, like if I'm dreaming again about a truck like that, I'm not dreaming about the XL model with the with the bed rack. Like it just doesn't do it for me. But I guess it's cooler than some cars on TV. I don't know.
This thing right here.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I really like it.
that's
And
a
I'd be
fucking
if
base
I was
model with
I know.
I'm not into that bumper, honestly.
no.
If I
Kinda-
Does he shoot people out of it or something? Like redeeming?
Nope.
Does he run
Something
people over or
redeeming?
anything?
I want it to be a short bed.
Oh, it's got the triple step on
So
the.
now you're changing. You can't do that. I don't know why I'm making rules up here, but
I was like, what do you like? Why do you care now, Sean? You hate the truck. But yeah, I just think it's cool. I think it's a rad truck.
I mean, if you drive around town for a couple hours, which you do frequently,
I know.
you pretty much see that truck.
I know. It's mostly the color, I think, that is getting.
It is an interesting color.
That's getting to me.
But I
and I
hate
was
all the
thinking
black
about it.
stuff with the color.
I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the F-150 because eventually it'll be, it's on 33.5-inch tires or 34s or whatever the metric comes out to. But I'm pretty confident I could fit 37s on it with like a 3-inch lift and then put a camper on the back and kind of do my like sleeper version of the Raptor that I had been planning on in my
in your
list
draft.
there. Yeah. So I thought to myself, all right, how can I make it so that it is not so bad for being at work, but would be good enough to do most of the camping? I don't know. Just going back and forth on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But
You got to consider all the options, Mike.
yeah. It's true.
All right, would you pay money for this?
Oh,
Yes.
thank God. M-Tex F250.
Yeah, if it's that
All
truck,
right.
you know it. Yeah.
Not much year range between these. They're They're pretty much the same.
Start with the greenest one.
The greenest one
Most
would
green.
be most green. I'm going to go with this one here.
The greener of the two.
There's a theme on this, unbeknownst to any of us, including myself, because I was just now finding them.
Just figured out.
I just now figured it out. So there is a theme to these, and you will soon see what it is.
Dancing.
All right.
Oh.
So we
Is
have
the
a
theme that
96
Tyson likes them?
Suzuki X90.
Is the theme that Tyson likes them? That's the.
So this is a right-hand drive import, 1.6 4-liter or 4-cylinder. Sorry.
Man.
It's got 4x4 high and low. Got a whole 97 horsepower, but it gets 26 miles to the gallon in the city and 28 on the highway.
Yeah.
It has a top speed of 94. So apparently this guy's done 94 in this sucker.
Yeah.
That's
Jesus.
impressive. And 1,000-pound tow capacity.
Huh.
Impressive, right?
Calls it a
Four-wheeling
beast.
Yeah. 6,075.
This guy has
It's got some little
Corvette owner
JDM
level of numbers here.
Yeah,
This is
I was gonna
like
say. They only made 7,000 of them. It's like, yeah, because nobody bought them. They didn't feel
Yeah.
any really good.
Because look at it.
It's an SUV, but you take away the convenience
But
part
look,
of it.
but right here,
also,
this is a Civic.
well,
Look at that.
well,
Is
so
that
there's
not
a
a
Suzuki?
Is that not a
So what was the
Very
Suzuki
similar.
car of that?
Right.
era? Yeah.
But that is, I mean, that's just as close. Man, it's got JDM wheels, little tiny T-tops,
Little
little tiny
T-tops.
mud terrains.
I love the
Oh my God,
interior.
The
that-
interior is
Oh,
super cool. The pattern on the
I want
seats, look
those
at
seats.
that. That is so cool.
I want those seats in the Miata.
And I guarantee you those seats are not big person friendly.
No, huh?
Those are going to be super narrow.
Yep.
Man,
Oh no, I gotta find Suzuki seats for the Miata.
98,000 kilometers.
Oh, with some mud
Like
stars.
side tires.
It's a radial MT. I'm a solid yes. I would pay money for this. I think that Natasha would also appreciate
She
it.
would drive it.
And I think this
She'd
would
finally
be
start
this would
driving.
be Natasha's
This
car.
would be the push. Yeah.
It's got 4-wheel drive, so it's good in
Yep.
the winter. It's tiny.
It'll bring her over
It's
the edge.
kind of cool
I think
looking.
It's fair. Yeah.
So that's my yes.
I'm a no.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't think of a thing that I would want it for. That it wouldn't be worse than another thing at. So
I don't know.
I mean, that color, that's a Millennium Jade metallic, by the way.
I love the color.
I know
I
it's
love
not, but it is.
I'm gonna go find somebody who's wrecked one, and I'm gonna steal the seats and those interior bits so that I can have the right setup. But other than that, it's not a. It is probably the greenest pick you had, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
The most green, the greenest.
Most green. Yeah. Okay.
I'm a no.
Man, I'm disappointed in you
I
guys.
know.
I
It's
know, right?
I just can't look at it.
I hate the way it makes my eyes feel.
The practical side of me says, of course, but the rational side of me realizes that if I'm sitting in that thing, it's
A lot.
gonna be
If
bad.
you're sitting in it, a lot of people are looking at you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and most of
everyone.
them are gonna go home with you.
Yeah,
Don't
and
know that.
I'm not a small guy.
Only one, I guess, could.
These are not
And
that small,
Max.
Steve. It looks like it's small, but it's not that small. This is the same chassis as a Sidekick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just so we're clear,
Well, at this point, wouldn't it
it's
be a
not a K
Vitara?
car. Maybe a 90. I don't
What year
know.
was this?
It's,
This was
it might be a regular Vitara. I don't
95,
know.
96.
96. Yeah, I think they got up to the Vitara at that point, but
Yeah.
I'm not. Anyway,
Same basics. That
I've had a lot of Suzukis, and I've loved my Suzukis. So don't get me twisted as not a Suzuki guy. Just not this one. I would want the one that has the rest of it, where you could keep the part that they took away.
You don't want the boot? You don't like the little boot?
No, and mostly because I don't like it.
Man.
Yeah.
It's
John?
funny because Mike likes quirky shit, but just the right type of quirky shit.
I'm particular. Yeah.
I'm
I got standards.
110% yes. I love this. I love the color. I love the fact that the day that I found out that these have a live rear axle and like the same underpinnings as the Sidekick or Vitara or Tracker, I was just like, oh my God, this is. I have to. I have to put a solid front axle under one of these, and it's not a lifted car, but it's kind of like a lifted car, just the
Yeah, it's
best
fairly
version of
close.
one you could have. So, that's what I would do. I love it.
All right.
I wish it wasn't right-hand drive. That's my one gripe. I would rather
Mm.
have an American one so that I could feel like normal-ish driving it.
Fair.
But
I
I
always had fun in my right-hand drive.
it's a pain in the
Yeah.
ass.
All
I
right.
like to
Well,
drive.
next up, we
Oh my
have
God, it's
a
a Tracker.
97
Love the
Suzuki Sidekick JX Sport.
I knew
So-
it was a Sidekick chassis, Mike.
All right. Yep.
There we go. Confirmed. All right. So this has, it's got locking hubs. It's got sliders, roof basket, 2.5 to 3 inch lift.
Rad seats again. A little less. These are a little less aggressive on the look side, but when you get close to that pattern on them, super rad.
Near new 31s.
Mhm.
Motor and transmission replaced. Has under 100,000. He's guessing. Body 200,000 miles. Has a custom front bumper. Got a winch. Traction boards.
Maybe sandboards.
Yeah, sandboards. Some sand ladders. Fuel can, skid plate, new rear brakes. So minuses.
Ooh.
No AC. Very minor rust and
Rough.
wear tear expected for this age. Rear passenger window, center console switch disconnected. Door switches. Bluetooth audio player. I believe some speakers
Why is
are
that a
blown
minus?
out.
Oh, okay.
That means
got it.
they are
I was
all
like, wait a
blown.
minute.
And the dome light is also out.
The minus
So-
is it's got a Bluetooth audio player. I love everything about that except the lack of AC.
Well, you know a guy
I know a guy. I know.
that does AC stuff.
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
So
I've literally owned this in green.
definitely possible.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
it
I
is a
would
little
pay
rusty
money.
in the back.
I would pay money for it. I've already done that in my past, probably twice. I've had 2 of them. And a Samurai and 2 Vitaras and I've had too many. I've had more Suzukis than I thought now that I think about it. Jeez. I guess I am slightly JDM.
Just a lot of cars in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
that's
just
it.
throwing a lot of rocks. Mike.
I throw a lot of darts and eventually one will hit a bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a Suzuki.
I am also, I would pay money for this.
Yeah.
It's just a mini Gen 2.5 Montero.
Yeah.
Because it's got the blister fenders. It's
could
smaller. Everything is just slightly smaller.
Yep.
And then you put some freaking Samurai front axle under it or whatever, and it's sassed, and you're freaking ready to go, man.
Or you leave it as is, and also I bet Natasha would drive it. I mean,
It's almost small enough.
I know. It's just like, thinking back to some of the ones I've had, I'm
Yeah.
like, honestly, you
They're
put it
not
next
big,
to you put it next
but,
to the
you
other
know.
things, yeah.
I
But
mean,
that's
yeah,
a cool shot. That's a good shot right back there.
Oh, I heard a yes from
that's
from
a
Steve
full
also.
full
All
set.
right.
See, we like Suzuki 4-wheel drives, just not that one.
Yeah, it's this one's usable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. John?
Yeah, 100%. I'm assuming it's cheap, and if it's not, it doesn't
It's
matter
$9,000.
because that's not the game.
9,000.
Oh my God,
It's pretty
that
high,
is insanely expensive for that. But it's
That's
still
some
awesome.
news to me.
Yeah,
but
that
it's got a
shouldn't be that
new
high.
motor and
I thought it
transmission.
would be-
Well, it's
I thought
got
it'd
an
be
unknown
$900.
mileage, probably
It's
replaced
likely
by
under
Yeah,
100,000,
unknown.
it says.
Yeah,
See what he
Likely.
said? Replaced by the previous owner, but I haven't had any paper. I don't have any paperwork,
Yeah.
but it runs well.
Doesn't have any leaks, and it's probably
it could be
under
less. It could be only 10,000 miles.
exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Also, it could be
One-
400
no one knows.
to 99,900.
So what you do is you show up and you say to this guy, okay, so it's at the flip of a coin, it's either got 100,000 miles on it or it's got 10,000 miles on it. If it's got, and we'll flip the coin and we're going to drop the price by $3,000
If it's got
if
100,000.
it's it's got 100,000 on it. Okay.
No, you show up like I do and say, the last one of these I bought was for $400.
Wow. I bet it didn't have a motor in it with unknown miles.
Yeah.
No, it had a blown head
jackpot.
gasket. It had a blown head gasket that I had to redo. But for $400, I think even when it was up and running and I had it all done and square, I put tires on it and got it like cleaned up, detailed. And I think I sold it for like $2,300. I felt like this was going to be like $3,500.
I mean, yeah, his price is probably a little high, but
Yeah. Well,
we should
I do
redo
like
this. Would you pay money for
Colin.
that in 6 months when we're still here and we know that he started to drop the price a couple times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's its bet?
I like
right.
that. I like that
still-
Colin didn't show us the price on this, though. That's
Yeah, but
true. Would you pay money for that
Yeah.
energy? I really
Because
admit that.
honestly, with this game, the price.
Right.
I'm just saying that for the sake of this is what this person has for sale for. That way, if somebody
Yeah.
listening is like, "Oh, that's in my price range," I might
Right.
be interested. They know the price.
Well, and the argument
For
that we
us,
would all make
doesn't
is
matter.
that, yeah, I would find something similar for much cheaper and build it out like this, or so would you.
Yeah, or find
you
one
would
that's
find-
similar that is
yeah.
cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would pay money for it, though. That's the
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
See?
Nope, I'm in.
That's the
I
game.
get it. I like it.
Okay.
I found one much cheaper. But
Yeah,
you know.
$400. It's
So-
not that long ago. I drove it from Prineville.
The final one.
Ooh. That is the least green. You're right.
This is a 98 right-hand drive Jimny. 73,000 miles, it says. It's a 5-speed. Heat and AC works. Ceramic coating. It's a plus.
Seems like a lot.
11,999. So this is an import, but it's a
Mhm.
but it's a Jimny.
It doesn't look rusty like that one that's around town.
There's a Jimny around town.
Wasn't there that silver one?
Yeah, there was one for sale for a hot minute. It might still be for sale.
It might still be for sale. Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm
It is
starting to remember this
so
now.
rusty.
It is 80% rust.
I'm starting to remember this now.
You look underneath of it and you're like, the body is held on by rust.
Ooh,
What's
inside is
turbo in there?
clean.
That's super
this
cool.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
This is a yes. I'm already.
Yeah, this is even more yes than
Yes,
the X90,
yes.
and I really like
We're
that.
all yeses.
Suzuki
Yeses
had
all
their
around.
I always forget how good Suzuki had their seat game.
Look
I
at
don't
that.
think people
That whole-
appreciate it enough.
That's just a masterpiece
I think-
right there.
Those are the same seats that are in the X90 with different.
With a different pattern.
Yeah, I'm
pattern.
sure they
Yeah,
are, but
like
it
90%
fits this car
sure.
better.
That
That lighter color makes this
This
much
is what's-
better with this bright white car.
This is what's concerning. Is 74,000 miles in it already needed a new head gasket?
Well, it's turbo,
Yeah.
so you know.
So no, hold on.
It's still-
They call that maintenance.
Yeah.
That wasn't. They didn't have to do it. They're doing some maintenance, light maintenance. Put a head gasket in there just in case.
God, this thing's rad.
This is Harrison.
Right? I wouldn't be
It's
surprised
weird
if he
and
had it.
right-hand drive.
Yeah, look at that. Just gets in, fires right up, and drives. No problem.
Yeah, scroll down to the guy's name though. Is this
It's
Harrison?
no,
was.
it's
It was.
Marcus
Alright.
Marcus Fuller, and he's in
That's
Newburgh.
Harrison's
is
alter ego.
Newberg's Harrison. Yeah, every town's got a Harrison.
Yeah, so it's what does it say? It's the Land Venture Edition too.
Land Venture Edition. Wow.
It's at Oregon
That's
Auto
nice.
Empire.
It's got the same size motor as my motorcycle does.
And less
700
power,
cc.
probably.
But yeah, 3-cylinder turbo, baby. It's low.
It's
But it's
nice.
good. But that's the grill that
Nate
Nate
Yeah.
used on his
Samurai.
Samurai. Yeah, that's
Oh,
the same. Really put in there.
I knew I'd seen that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty
there you go.
ugly, but
A
in the
land
best way.
adventure.
yeah, but I like the intercooler
Yeah,
setup.
top
and
mount
yeah.
intercooler with the scoop. Mm-hmm.
and the fact that the radiator looks like it's still from the 80s.
Oh yeah, that's
And
an
the
original
jack
radio.
is under hood as well.
Underhood jack.
Yep. The airbox is nice.
So
Having it up tight like that. This thing's rad. And it looks, I mean, it's probably not nearly as clean as it looks in these pictures because professionally you take your pictures and then you
sure.
ask AI to make them look great. But even if it's
Okay.
80% this clean,
I mean
that's,
the interior looks amazing to me.
yeah.
So And
Well,
that's
that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's a major sell point for me when it comes to cars. Is like really nice
Yeah.
interiors
Yeah.
really get me.
because I'm not going to do anything. That was one of my big downfalls on the Miata, because I was like, I'm not gonna do anything with this. I'm gonna clean it, and it's gonna be as good as it is. And I was like, okay, well, that's what I have. But some part of me was like, well, if you do get seats someday, and then you can get a carpet kit, but then you got to get the dash done up, because the dash is never going to be clean enough to match the carpet kit that you put in it. And then and then you're like, so I just do nothing.
Well, it's just
And now the
it's
interior,
not the car for that.
right?
That's
exactly.
the thing.
You remove the dash and you remove the carpet.
Yeah.
And you go,
hey, look, it all matches again because it's red under there.
And the nice thing about a red car is the rust doesn't show as quickly. It's not rusty, but I'm assuming if
the cinders don't show as much either. It's the cinder dirt from out here. There you go. Problem solved.
I got 2 red convertibles ready to go.